This is that time, Leila. This is the time when you wish.
Now we can sing you happy
Yes.
birthday. Are we gonna have just us, or are we gonna
No, we
have?
don't know. We don't know. Look, this was done basically because your time, my evening was not suiting you. So that's why we were doing it now. So you, of course, have to. And of course, let me introduce you. So, of course, Leila knows Wendy. Wendy knows Leila. JP is a senior advocate in India. And of course, he runs a mediation center in the court, which of course I don't agree with, but doesn't matter. My agreeing or disagreeing won't matter. These will continue. So, JP, can you hear me? Hear us?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, I think he's on the road. He must be going to court right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, why do mediators have to go to court? That is the only thing. We want them to be doing this separately. So,
well, it's nice to meet you, JP.
JP has a little signal issue.
JP, you will get pulled over if you were in the US driving and being on Zoom.
No, he's sitting at the back. He's sitting in the back. He's relaxing.
Oh, okay.
Because so this is that time, Leila. Now is the time.
To sing for you?
Yes.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mediator Vikram. Happy birthday to you. And many, many more, Vikram.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wendy didn't know whether she should join the singing or not. So definitely.
And Vikram, is today your birthday?
Yeah, today's my birthday.
Oh,
of course. Look,
I am a wonderful day, and you'll continue to have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. But the only thing, Wendy, I'm celebrating this as World Peacemakers Day because peacemakers don't get celebrated, it seems. So we need to celebrate them. And of course, mediators are celebrated.
I was telling Leila that I was not driving. So therefore.
Yeah, because
that's
your voice.
A wonderful idea.
We couldn't hear you, JP. In the middle there was a signal issue. So you kind of disappeared for us.
Yeah. That's what happens, when you're moving on the road. But anyway, I was telling Leila, I'm not driving. So I can safely talk to you guys.
But the thing that I was complaining about, JP, was that why are you going to court? We want you to be sitting and mediating only.
Yeah. Vikram, I was answering that we still make our bread and butter through the adversarial litigation. And so therefore, till it becomes an alternate profession, and which I hope it will happen soon after the law is enacted. Yes, of course, then I will be, spending most of my time for mediation, spreading awareness, doing trainings, and also mediating.
Perfect. Because JP is doing a lot of work in India. He's like one of those people who are really active, and he's like a senior mediator here. My only issue with JP is he's such a senior mediator, but he does it for free in the court. And what will happen to my livelihood? He gets his livelihood from the litigation. What am I going to do? Okay, so Lily,
and that's actually been a debate in the United States.
Definitely. So it's a debate with me all the time. You will hear me on my shows. I will keep talking about this, but not today. Today we'll introduce Lily and Kato. Lily is in the US and Kato is in Japan. Hi, Kato. Seeing you for a long time.
Hi, everyone.
Kato, you'll have to unmute yourself. To wish me, you'll have to unmute yourself in any case. And of course, Lily also has to do it, but she's thinking whether she should or not. How are you, Kato?
Fine, thank you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. And where did you disappear? You disappeared for a long time.
There's so many things to do in my life, right? But I think your living room has become such a wide space now. Congratulations.
Because Kato and there was Lisa and we used to sit, I did a show, a series called Mediators, Mediation and Spirituality. And Kato had great inputs there. You must watch those episodes. He came out with some interesting things about lobsters and how they go about their life. It was very interesting. And JP, that's Kato. I don't know, you haven't met him, and Lily.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I saw some of the episode I could participate in, and rest, and not most of them. But of course, I like to see them on, during one of these. And we are going to have a lot of vacations in August. That's the time when I want to sit down and watch.
JP, there are 373 videos. Each of them are at least 1 hour. They go to 2 hours, 3 hours. So you'll have to take 1 year off. Just take 1 year off only to watch these. Okay, so let me tell you, Leila, I don't know whether you guys have met Lily. You met Lily? She was part of the conference also. So
No, I never met Lily.
Lily's story is interesting. When I told her to be part of the conference, she said, I'm not qualified as a mediator. I said, Lily, with me, you don't have to be qualified. You just have to have the mediator mindset. So then she came in, and after that, what happened? Lily will tell us. Lily, what happened after that when you came in? That you have to tell us.
Well, I like everything that you're doing.
Beyond that, your experience, but all those apprehensions that you had after that, what really happened? I really want to know.
I think I still have apprehensions, but I want to be part of what you're doing because I think it's so important. Yeah. So I really like the idea that you're continuing what you have started and you're continuing to connect us, and that we're going to move forward with these circles. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, at least look, Lily did one good thing. After we had a discussion on the World Mediation Circle, she sent me a note, and we are going to, of course, work on that note. So that vision on that also, let me tell you, I mean, the point is I told everyone, please come into these meetings and we'll discuss that. So I'll tell you that vision also before, but before that, we'll have to meet Rakhi also. Rakhi, you'll have to show us yourself. We have to know you're not a bot. You are a person at the other end. So, okay, Rakhi will come in.
Just a minute. Kindly give me 1 minute. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So please, you can see everyone's name. I can repeat all of them. Leila, Wendy, JP. JP, you should know. If you don't know him, then I think you'll have to leave the meeting, but I will have no option. And Lily, Kato. So the vision basically was, I think, I don't know whether people heard this, but the idea was that let's create these mediation circles in every part of the world. And someone's sound is, there's a background sound. I think it's Rakhi, so I'll mute her. So basic idea was that, look, every school, every community, and all kinds of community, it could be residential, identity-based, they could be place-based, whatever, interest-based. So we have these mediation circles that they create, what does that mean? They identify those with the mediator mindset. They identify those who have the peacemaker mindset. And I divide the two. I said the mediators obviously have the skill to actually sit down and assist people to resolve the dispute. And on the other hand, you have the peacemakers who just bring people together, which is also a skill and it's an art. So they bring the people together. And the people who want to resolve disputes in an amicable, collaborative manner. So in a way, these are people who are going to, I mean, might be a small circle to start with, and then other people will see what's happening. They'll get involved. So we'll have these circles expanding in the local communities, then on the state level, national level, and finally that large world mediation circle. We should have people who have similar thoughts on resolving disputes. And we work together on various activities. Global level, you have, of course, you can have a climate change mediation circle, or any other aspect of it. People just set these up, and I'm saying that these people exist everywhere who have that mediator mindset, be it families, be it communities, everywhere. So we just have to bring them out and value them. That's why these celebrations, because they are the ones who get lost, because they are never going to be vocal. They're nice people who just want to do good in the society, and no one actually, I'm saying, values them. And as we go along, I think we'll also be able to, we had a serious session in the conference, which was mediators as leaders and leaders as mediators. So slowly, these are the people who come out in communities. If these are the people who are leaders, and people like you, if they are the leaders in the community, the reasonable voices in the community, when you are going to bring people together. So imagine the change that can happen at that level, at the community level, which that mindset goes around and things just expand. I mean, that's my thought. But Lily's had a discussion with me earlier, so Lily will expand on it. So Lily, you want to take us through our discussion and what you note that you sent?
Well, I mean, I just took a bunch of notes of things that you just talked about. And I think one of the main things that stuck out for me was that we talked about a lot of times when people have problems, a personal problem, a relationship problem, they actually don't feel comfortable going to somebody in a field, a professional field. They would rather go to a friend or a family member. So you're talking about finding these people that have the mediator mindset, the peacemaker mindset, and then people could go to them. They would feel more comfortable sharing their intimate problems and issues with somebody they know rather than paying a professional that they don't know. But I agree with you. I think that people need to be compensated for their time, effort, energy, knowledge. And you talked about gifts. I like that idea that a gift would be given of some sort to help that person realize that what they've contributed is of value. So that's sort of where I'm at on all that.
Yeah, the gift part I didn't talk about. I said, look, everyone, to start with, I said, look, let's do it for 2022 to start with. We have some months. Let's see if people appreciate people by actually sending them a gift rather than a mediator saying, okay, this is my fee, because these are people who don't want to say it. It just comes naturally to them and they don't want to say, oh, I want to charge so much for this. So let it be a gift. Same thing I said, told everyone for myself also. I said, look, all this work I'm going to keep doing. Send me a gift. I'll feel it's like feeling appreciated. Same thing at the local level, you find at the community level, you have this person with the mediator mindset. Appreciate that person, use the person for dispute resolution, and that person, send them a gift. And even if you don't have a dispute you want the person to resolve, still send them a gift, because they're giving for the community. It might not be your dispute, but just the fact that they actually help resolve a dispute with some other people, that would help the community. I mean, finally, you want a community that works together. And I've been saying that, look, over time, what has happened is that communities have broken down. So these people will actually bring communities together. And that's when things change at every level, when people come together. But of course, these are my thoughts. I'm saying this is a work in progress. I mean, I'm not saying that I know. I look, practically, I've tested it out. I have. But still beyond that, I think we'll keep working on it. We'll keep refining it. And let's see how it grows. I'm saying I'm okay with that. One school, one community, each of us takes up. I mean, I'm taking up the larger one. I'm taking all of you. But I'm saying if everyone takes up that one space and then just starts creating it there, how does it help the person who has even if mediators who are working as the professional, call it professional, because that quite is self-debatable whether it's a profession or not. I keep discussing that. But how does this help you? You are out there in the community, not saying, come to me. You are saying, come, I'm creating this whole environment, this atmosphere for collaborative dispute resolution. From here, you, of course, have the larger experience on maybe more complex matters. So the community recognizes you. You are actually mentoring people who might use you for co-mediations. People will know you. They'll because you're interacting with them, they will say, okay, so Leila is there, or Wendy, or of course JP, Lily, Kato, they're all there. Let's of course go to them. That relationship that you've developed, they'll come to you. So you get work also from that. The whole idea is that people, of course, like JP said, are not being able to take it up as a full-time thing. We want them to, come off it. People like you, if you are not out there on a full-time basis, look at the number of disputes out there. If we can actually help people with people like you out there available all the time, imagine how much change we can bring over time. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Like I said, it's not going to happen in a day or two. We take it up, we keep growing, and then everyone is connected to the larger World Mediation Circle. I want everyone to be part of that. So you have people from all parts of the world interacting with each other. They understand disputes are kind of the same. It just might be languages might be different. Everything else might be different, but disputes, these are people to people. People remain the same all over. So I'm saying there might ultimately there'll be a global pool, and any part of the world with online mediation, you can help people any part of the world. So they will recognize you on a global level. I mean, why do I put all these shows out there? Good people should be out there, recognized by communities, society in general, and they should be actually be involved from any part of the world. I mean, you can connect with anyone. I mean, come on, Leila could connect with someone sitting in Africa. Why not? Just a
Only
connection.
thing Vikram, I'd like to mention, you said we have to mediate all the time. I don't know about all the time because we have to get our sleep and we have to.
Leila, when do you get your
You
sleep?
said
Tell me.
all the time.
When do you get your? Please tell everyone what time you sleep. Can you tell everyone that when do you
I
get your
go
sleep?
to bed sharp 10 p.m. and I wake up at 6 a.m.
Okay, so joke's over now. If you have now a serious time. So Leila doesn't really sleep. She doesn't. She's so involved in changing the world that she doesn't get her sleep.
Yeah, I never sleep.
So that's why you look. You're available. I mean, whatever time you must take time for yourself. Look, I go out. Those time that I play golf, my phone is not with me. I'm not at all. I don't know, JP, whether he takes his phone with him or not. I don't know about that. But
I don't, Vikram. And people know when I'm not picking up my phone, I'm on the golf course.
Perfect. So that's exactly what happens with me. So at least you have that many hours for yourself, and you need those hours with yourself. I mean, that's important. I mean, if you don't get that time, how do you even help people if you yourself? Because you look, we do take up a lot. I mean, actually, are pulling in a lot when it's not so easy as people think. Oh, they don't even know what happened. I mean, you actually were able to do something, and I think that's one reason maybe mediators not valued, because you should be able to do things without even people knowing that you did something. Mm-hmm. That's the whole idea. I mean, they think they've done it themselves. That's the whole idea. So maybe that's why they don't value us. I don't know. I mean, we have to look at that part. What is the reason for, I mean, all over the world, if mediators are the ones who don't have work all the time and lawyers have work all the time, that JP is going to court all the time. So we have to change that.
JP, are you a mediator in India?
Yes, Leila, I also train. So I have done my TOT in USA. That was University of Utah.
Wow.
And yes, as Vikram says, I still make my bread through litigation. And we still have a long way to go, before the awareness sets in and, it becomes an alternate profession.
Because the JP actually runs a mediation center in the High Court in Delhi also. So look, I'm going to change that. One day we will not have JP going to court, which is why, look, that's the target. I mean, that's the thing that I'm keeping in front of me. How do I do something? Look, I'm not saying me. I keep using me, myself, only because I want to make sure I'm not an organization. Don't want to be. We're all individuals working together. Because that bureaucracy that sets into organization, that's why I say it's a very democratic process. Everyone tells me what to do and I decide. I do what I have to do, but it's democratic. Everyone can have a say in what they want to say.
Vikram, what about Kato in Japan? How, I'm just curious, do you practice mediation in Japan? Is that a popular method?
First, let me give you an introduction of Kato. Kato is actually a solicitor qualified in the UK. He's actually working in Japan, but he is actually, I think, doing work which is for people qualified in the UK. But Kato is going to tell us. Yes, Kato, please.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to keep it short because I would probably need 2 hours on that subject. But as Vikram said, I'm Japanese national. I was born and brought up in Japan, but I have spent there half of my life in London, England, which made me become an English solicitor, English lawyer. So all of my legal works are in the English law field. A bit unusual, practicing English law in Tokyo. Dispute resolutions comes from that side because many of my clients didn't want to go to the court because it's so expensive in England. I'm now back in Japan 10 years, and this is a bit hesitated to say in an open manner, but I've been saying this already. Right? Japan is a very strange place in terms of mediation.
How
Because
so?
if you, there is a law called Attorneys Act, which gives the statutory monopoly to the lawyers qualified in Japan. Right? For example, Vikram, do you remember that if you ask Vikram to play golf in Japan and thereafter to do a bit of mediation with the Indian community living in Japan, that's a criminal offense, because
Really?
Vikram does not have the Japanese registration there. So in Japan, the community-based mediation doesn't really exist in terms of professional manners. They're all done in privately. If there are court annex mediations, but court annex one is a bit different from what we are talking about, because mediators, they could say, well, if you are not following my advice, then I change my heart, and next week I write my judgment in this way. So there is a pressure, authoritative pressure coming there. That's not really community mediation in the sense that your people will be talking about.
So it doesn't sound to be a very popular method. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think the people within the Japanese legal fraternity, judges and Japanese lawyers, they say that they have a very well-functioning court-annexed mediation system, which is celebrating the 100th anniversary this year. That may be the case, but most of the people on the street, ordinary people, would find it going, commencing sort of a court-annexed mediation is almost akin, almost the same as commencing a litigation. So there's a vacuum there. There is a big vacuum, and I'm hoping that I can fill the gap because I cannot change this statutory monopoly. So that's why I have become a psychologist, right? So by giving a psychological counseling to the individuals and the families, that could be, the same thing could be achieved, right? We'll see. I'm still struggling.
But you do, actually, there was an episode of In Conversation with a Beautiful Mind with Kato, which is, of course, like I said, you can always go to YouTube and search Mediator Vikram Kato. You'll find his episodes. So some parts he would have discussed there. I don't know how much he discussed there, but I mean, though I think must have been at least 2.5 hours of that conversation. So
that was a long one, 2.5 hours. Yeah. One thing, because some of you are staying very late in the evening, so you should be rewarded, right? I can give you a sort of relatively hot news from Japan. I think all of you have heard about 3 weeks ago that the former Prime Minister Abe was shot down when he was giving a sort of a speech in public.
Imagine, Kato, on my birthday, you're talking about people dying, killing. That is what I'm saying. These are things that we don't discuss. I am living in my bubble. I don't even watch the news. Yes, because of some posts that come out, we found out, yes, this happened. But I'm saying, look, let that world happen. We have to see why does it happen. We're going to the root of that problem. Root starts there at that school, at that child who finally went and shot this person. We are going out and dealing with that. So that is why we don't even, hear me. I never talk about all the politics and everything because they drag you in. That's the whole idea. They drag you into those conversations. The positive ones don't happen. Positive, Kato, tell us about the positive things that are happening in Japan. That's what you have to tell us. All the negative we know, media only covers the negative part. We all know so much about the negatives that positives get lost. Tell us.
Vikram. Well, with respect to you, I think you made a very good point because after 3 weeks, we are now discovering what was his motive, what made him to do that sort of thing, unimaginable thing there. And it had something to do with spirituality. That's
the connection.
we met.
Wow, spirituality is what caused him to kill.
No, he's going to tell us that. Before that, let's Kato, just 1 second. We'll just introduce Jhanda, and then we'll come. You continue with it.
If I start saying that,
Kato, we just say hi to Jhanda. 1 second.
I would need a longer time.
Yeah, definitely. We'll keep an episode for that. Yeah, I'm just saying, just introduce Jhanda. We'll come back to you. Kato, Jhanda is here. Let us just introduce her, and we'll come back to you because Kato, that's the thing. When he starts off, then it's hi, Jhanda.
Hello, and happy birthday, Vikram.
Thank you very much. That's a very serious happy birthday.
Nice to meet you.
It could have been a little more cheerful, I would think. She goes, hello, happy birthday, Vikram. Okay, now let's get back to work. No.
I think we're in the middle of a good conversation, so I would not like to interrupt.
Look, these conversations will go on. Today is the day to talk about those nice things which Kato's coming to. Spirituality is his one area we've discussed a lot. So Kato's coming to that. But also Kato, Lily has to tell us about the books she writes because she's an author. And of course, she's available. Her books are available on Amazon also. So she's going to also tell us about the nice positive things she writes. But of course, Kato, please, you're finishing off the, let Lily just finish it. He's finishing off the spirituality part of it. Yes, Kato.
Okay, again, I tried to make it short. Right? The traitor is confessing to the police that there was no political motive behind it. Right? And in fact, that was a spiritual one, so a religious one. Right? And I'm not quite sure whether that fits the Vikram birthday.
I know that's what
but
well, let me also tell them. Let me tell them the background. The thing is that all my shows and all, normally I would keep people muted. Okay, they would not get a chance to talk really. Imagine there was a webinar organized by some third person somewhere. And I was attending and Kato was attending. We did not know those people. I mean, they was just attended. And there Kato says, someone just was speaking to me and Kato says, I hope today we don't have to listen to Vikram. Imagine on a third person's webinar, he says that is how much I gag people. Can you imagine? That's the background to why Kato is taking this opportunity because he's unmuted. Yes, Kato, please. Please tell us. Okay, so that's
he has such an incredible perspective. It's interesting to hear him out.
That's why I'm saying you just watch that those episodes of Mediation.
You have 350 videos.
73. This is a 374th. 374th. This one is. But we watched that mediators, mediation and spirituality. So Kato gave presentations. So what we used to do is that every episode we would have, of course, Kato would take up something. And of course, his lobster example is something you will have to, of course, watch. But interesting, those are interesting. So he's been there earlier, but he disappeared after that. I mean, kind of, I think I was gagging him too much. I think he got a little worked up. I did not, Kato, you had enough opportunity, but a little bit of, we have to get Lily in also. Now, Lily, please tell us about your books. Those nice, positive things that you write.
Well, the only thing I really want to say is that my books are about mindfulness, and I really feel that the core of mediation and a great mediator, it is about being mindful of what's going on inside of each person and then outside too. But I did want to give a plug actually for Henry Yampolsky's book. It's hard for me to say his last name, Dissolving Conflict from Within, which I've started. It's such a good book, and it's all about mediation and dissolving that conflict from within ourselves, which is where it all starts. But like Layla, so I need to go to bed in 1 minute because I'm going to get up early because I'm on a schedule. So I just want to say before I leave, it's so nice to see all of you. And Vikram, I cannot thank you enough for all that you're doing because it's so close to my heart. Happy, happy birthday. You have started a world movement in my mind, and it's been life-changing for me because now I know all of you exist out there and we all want the same thing, I think, which is to learn to resolve these things that are happening within us and around us. And that is what will change the world. So thank you, Vikram.
Thank you very much, Lily. But you have 30 seconds more. Let me just put up. This is Lily on Amazon. These are the books she writes. So please have a look at them. She hasn't told us what she writes. So, and I don't read books. Lily knows that. Even the books that she's talking about, Henry's book, I had an episode of Talking Books with Henry. Please watch that. It's very interesting. So Henry's thoughts on conflict resolution. He talks about conflict resolution. I am very limited in my thought process. I'm only into dispute resolution. So that's an interesting thing. The book, of course, like Lily says, I'm sure it's very interesting. So
okay, goodbye and happy birthday.
Before you go, Lily, where are you located?
I'm in the Pismo Beach area of California, about halfway between San Francisco and LA. So if you're in LA, I'm about 3-4 hours north of you. By San Luis Obispo, Cal Poly.
Yes, I've spent time in that area.
Yeah.
And I'd love to hear more about your mindfulness books because I'm very interested in mindfulness myself.
I'll tell you what, Lily, let's do an episode of Talking Books with you, and we'll cover your books in that. Let's do that.
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah. So
all right. Happy birthday. Thank you, Vikram.
All right. Bye. See you.
And
Thank
Vikram,
you, Lily.
I'll be signing off too. I have I'm not feeling well, and the time change is I need to get some sleep as well. So
okay, but Wendy, we didn't hear about you. We didn't hear about you. You have to tell us about yourself before you leave. It's not so simple. Once you come in, it's not simple to go. It's like the Hotel California song. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. That's how.
You can never leave. Exactly. I like that song too. I am a family mediator. I've been a family mediator for nearly 30 years. And so I've seen so many changes in the mediation profession, where mediation has become more, people are becoming more and more aware of mediation, are seeking mediation out in the Los Angeles area. And many attorneys are becoming mediators now and not going to court. So that's been a really welcome change. I started off as an arts mediator, and I resolved disputes between artists and the people they did business with, and trained artists and entertainers, writers, all of those in the arts profession to be mediators, and learned that mediation is really an art. It's not necessarily part of the legal profession in my feeling. I don't feel that you necessarily have to be a lawyer to be a mediator.
Absolutely.
And that, as you've mentioned, that mediation can thrive in a number of different communities, everything from schools to businesses to unions to even in the arts. And Ken Cloak was an old friend and a mentor of mine. And so when I went to him back in 1988 to find a different way to practice law, he provided some guidance and some light. So,
but Wendy, you've spoken about the arts, but have you also looked at using the arts in mediation? Have you looked at that?
You know, I did at one point when I worked with a woman. I co-mediated with a woman who was an art therapist, and we worked with families together. And we would use art within the mediation to help express feelings and talk about histories and talk about future aspirations and goals. And
just one second, Wendy, I'm just cutting you off for one second. Kato, don't leave. He just said he's leaving. But just 1 minute. We don't leave. We just, Wendy's finishing, then we'll just. Yeah, Wendy, please. Kato wanted to leave. He wants to.
Oh, okay. So
no, he's not leaving. You're here. You can tell us about yourself. Relaxed. I just told him to wait. Please, Kato, don't leave. Yeah, Wendy.
Oh, okay. So there's so many ways to approach mediation, and mediation can thrive in so many different types of settings and communities. Is what I've seen over the last 30 years. A real growth.
I was asking you that because one, look, I mean, I'm just seeing how many things that can you watch on my channel. So Ken Cloak, I think there are about 13 sessions with him. So there's a Ken Cloak playlist. You can go to my website, mediatorvikram.com. It's all one special section on Ken Cloak, so you can watch that. On the arts, in the conference, we had one session on the arts and mediation. That's one place you can read. Really watch that. Then Kathy Porter, she's in Canada. She spoke about poetry and mediation. In her episode of Evolution of a Mediator, there's a series I've got. There was a symposium last year where she spoke about it. So Kathy Porter, you can search. You can just go to YouTube, Mediator Vikram, Kathy Porter, Mediator Vikram, Ken Cloak. And then we had one special session on the World Creativity and Innovation Day. So we spoke a little bit about that also. So there's enough. I'd like to tell people what they have.
I would love to see all of those. Those sound great.
Yeah, so just search for that, because the thing is that people don't know how to find the information. As I can see it, 373, I can understand, but on my website, you'll kind of find an index. There's an index there, so you can actually see what all is there. It's long. So Kato, I don't want you to leave because you haven't heard Jharna yet. So let Jharna just, and Wendy, you also can't leave. You have to hear about Jharna also. Jharna is looking at how social media can help mediators. Yes, Jharna, please tell us.
Thank you, Vikram. Good morning, everybody. And of course, good evening to everyone else there. I practice mediation. Plus, at the same time, I help mediators to leverage their social media, and they can use it either for awareness purpose or to make sure that they have inbound leads coming in. And that's what I mainly work on, helping them to leverage social media and build their online reputation, so that there's more clientele coming to you, knowing about your services, and you can help them to resolve their disputes. So that's what my small profile is all about.
But what Jharna is not telling us is that she gets up when Leila sleeps. The time is about the same. So I think she gets up at 4 o'clock and Leila kind of sleeps at 4 o'clock. So
Wendy, I have no idea what's
I sleep quite early, like I sleep around 9:30 p.m. and I'm up by any time between 3 to 4 a.m. So
3 to 4 a.m. Leila, you're listening to that? She's up at that time. So Kato, please, Kato wants to leave. So Kato, please tell us while leaving anything special that you want to tell us.
Well, I have to go now, and internet connection is not particularly good. But it was a pleasure to be with you, and in particular to Vikram. Again, warm wishes and best regards to your birthday. Do you know that you share your birthday with Lim Tat?
I know. I sent him a message also. I sent him a message.
Right. Okay. Right. This is a day where we should have a celebration.
Okay. Let me tell you. Basically, Tat Lim is a nice person and a mediator in Singapore. He's also been on Evolution of a Mediator, so you can find that series also. So his birthday is also today. So that's what Kato, because Kato, I got to know because that episode of Evolution of Mediator I was doing. So Kato found out about that. So he connected and he came in to watch that also. So that's why that limb connection is there. Yeah. So thank you, Kato, for coming in.
It was great. Yeah.
I haven't changed too much. I still gag people. So, but I won't gag you too much next time you're there. Look, you have to understand my situation. When we have these discussions, I have to keep it flowing because we don't have too much time. So that's why I do that. Otherwise, I don't have anything against you, Kato.
I think we should maybe use another word instead of gag. It's more mediation friendly, Vikram.
In this case, I can't because that's what he thinks. Bye, Kato. Well, that's what he considers. That's why I have to use that word. That's exactly what happens with them.
I mean, I have my mentor right here, Wendy Forrester. So, Wendy, what's another word for gag that is more mediation?
For gag? That's more mediation friendly.
Okay, let me easy. Let's see. I just mute them. I mute them. Let me say, put it that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Allowing everyone to participate, making space for everyone.
No, I'll tell you where the problem lies, and I have explained that to people. What happens is that we have these sessions, like symposium sessions, conference sessions are 1 hour. Now, a person I've noticed when they want to ask a question, first there is a 3-4 minute kind of an old introduction, comment and everything. And then the question comes. I ask those people, why don't you participate? Of course, you have so much to say. Please participate in the conference because it's open. I mean, there's no limitations on the number of people who can participate. So come in there. But when it comes to the asking of the thing, just put it in the chat. I'll see what the questions in the chat are and I take them up. But no one else can see the chat. So no one gets distracted by the chat, but I do that. That's the kind of system I've developed and it's worked. It works for me because look, for me, if you've noticed, I don't know whether Leila's been there in the conference. Okay, her session was in the morning, my morning. So because it was special for her because her time aspect of it, or Sunday, we did it on Sunday, my Sunday. But otherwise what happens is all of them work. I mean, it's like clockwork kind of thing. The session has to finish in 1 hour. The next session happens immediately because the numbers is like 3 sessions back to back. So you can imagine if I give even 15 minutes extra to one person, first I'm wasting their time, which I don't like to do. The other thing is for me, it's another 45 minutes. So it's like you're sitting for 4 hours at a stretch, which almost. So all those things, all those factors putting together, I like the voices who've come in and have taken out time to actually tell us about the topic. I want their voices. The other voices will come separately. They can come again. They can be part of the show. There's no limitations, like I said. So that's how it works. That's why the gagging, but we are changing into muting them. Muting is okay, Leila? Are you okay with that? No, she's not okay with that. I am sorry. We'll have to use some other word.
But we're trying to use positive keywords because language is everything.
So tell us, we need the word. Like, okay, let me tell Wendy. There was one session in the conference which was terminology and mediation. So Jeannie, she works in community mediation in the US. So she says, look, what we did was because mediation came out of the court system and the language came out of the court system, like parties, opening statement. She said, look, we had to change that. We wanted to change it because the atmosphere we are trying to create is different. So instead of parties, we use participants. Instead of opening statement, we say orientation. So yes, terminology is important. But in this case, Leila, this is the fact. I have to tell people exactly what I do. I gag them.
Gag them, okay.
Because the thing is, you have the setting available in Zoom, so they can't unmute themselves. So isn't that gagging? What else can I call it?
Well, I want to say happiest birthday to you.
Thank you.
Vikram, thank you for everything you do. We appreciate it. And with that said, I think I'm also going to say
we'll say good night. We'll say good night to you.
And good night.
And we'll discuss the World Mediation Circle at some point. Those meetings will have to keep continuing. So we'll be discussing and creating those circles. So thank you, Leila. Thank you for bringing in Wendy.
Hi,
thank you, Wendy.
Thank you. I'll enjoy taking part in your dialogues again. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And happy birthday.
Thank you for coming
Happy birthday.
Thank you very
Good
much.
night,
See you.
everyone, and
Bye.
good day, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, Jhanna. So what's been happening with you?
Well, nothing. Right now I'm in Bangalore. I had come to visit IFI college here. So yeah, that's it.
But why the serious tone? Why not the more chirpy, cheerful tone? For you, it's the morning. For them, it was the night.
Yeah, honestly, the mornings are very dull. I will not lie. So that's where a little serious and too dull here. But I'm very happy to, uh, attend this, conversation because until I get the link, I was watching it on YouTube.
No,
So
I
thank you
sent you
so
the
much for
email.
sharing the
I
link.
don't know whether you people don't get the emails. What really happens? Is it
I
because
don't know.
I just checked the spam? Because only thing is because they go out in bulk. They go as BCCs.
Possibly.
So maybe it goes into your spam folder. But I can't change that, Buglo, for me.
No, I know. No, I received your emails personally. It's marked not spam. It's in my inbox. It's just
Yeah,
land.
so then you have the link there in that email. You said you don't have the link. The link is there.
Yeah,
You
so
don't read
that's
it.
what that's why I even messaged you on LinkedIn. I'm like, I need the link for today. And then I messaged you on WhatsApp. I'm like, wherever I get, but until then, I'm at least having the YouTube link.
No,
I will join that.
no, but I'm saying, Jhanna, that the email is lying with you. 15th of July, 10:46 p.m. That email is lying in your inbox. If it's not in your inbox, it's in your spam folder. So the email has gone to you. So people maybe don't read my emails or they go to spam folders, whatever way, but these emails have to go out in that bulk kind of thing. I have no way. Individual will not be
No,
possible.
but no. It is too much. Like it would be too much to expect that if you keep sending people individual emails. So no complaints there. I take the responsibility of my inbox. That's not your fault, but I'm glad that I could interact with you and others and
No,
hear something positive about mediation.
no, we'll also what you said last in that session in the conference. I also should look at those email kind of things where you can actually create those newsletter kind of thing and people can subscribe to it, so they confirm their email, so then it will not go into spam. That's what I understand. That's how it'll work.
Yeah, most of it.
So I'll try one of those things, which you'll help me set up. That
No problem. No complaints there. I'll be there to help you.
now the problem is that you'll have to stick around. You can't leave because I have kept this up going till 11:30, and because
Yes,
I
no,
just
I
felt
am here. I would love to interact with you. I would love to know few things from you
first your World Mediation
because it's your
Circle is
birthday. So let me just put you in spotlight in that case
no. I tell you,
because
for
it's
me,
your birthday.
this opportunity I wanted to take to talk about those World Mediation Circles. That's what I really wanted to
Yes,
talk
yes.
about because that's something which I feel it's going to start slowly. It will, but with the response that I've got from people want to be involved, is just getting them going. So that's
No,
what I
I
really
made my
want.
notes for the day
So now
from the
you'll have to.
session.
So this is what you're going to tell me. If what you understood from that,
Yes.
what you can want to.
So okay, these some things which the notes that I have taken down is something which I would like to do my personal research and possibly write small articles or blog on. So one thing I really loved was mediation terminology, making sure that they're not court oriented, but something which is more mediation friendly. Then divorce mediation and family mediation, understanding the difference and helping people to understand why is it important to rather approach mediation and not court in these cases. Then uh, I'll check the status of mediation bill, what has been happening and what's surrounding that. Then also while interacting with people, I realized that it's not always the problem that people have challenge to deal with. Sometimes it's also a concern or a challenge to deal with difficult people. So how to deal with difficult people is what I would like to
How to?
learn and write about. How to deal with difficult people.
Difficult. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And yeah.
Okay. You don't want me to answer that, no? You're just saying.
No, I would love to. I mean, please, I would love to, add up those points and.
Look, I'm telling you, Jannat, the way I look at it, and that's why I keep highlighting the whole aspect of heart, soul, spirituality. when you connect at that level, there is no difficult person, because or the outer shell, whatever might be, connecting within, all those things go away. So, but we are not being able to do it. Again, look, in terms of mediation, again, coming from the court system, there is still, I think, in some parts of the world, that expectation that the mediator in some way comes with that kind of persona. And then because of that, that has continued. It's not at all like that. It's not supposed to be like that. It is a totally different process where you are actually interacting at a different level altogether, and people cannot obviously, in how do you gauge that? How do you say heart, soul, spirituality came in? But please watch Leila's session of the conference where she said about master mediators at work. Did you have a look at that? You did
No,
not.
I haven't.
No,
I
watch
will
it.
look
She's
into
really, it's very nice, because she was a Jams, the Weinstein Jams fellow. There's a Weinstein Jams International Fellowship. So she was one of a fellow, and she, when she was in the US, she was actually sitting in mediations with, she calls them master mediators, and the things that came out from that, energy, then of course their humility, all those things. So that part of it, I think, has either look, again, it's all happening in a closed room, so no one knows what really happens there. Of course, so that whole thing doesn't get passed on, but of course, largely lawyers took to it. So they brought in that whole thing that they were doing in courts. They brought that into mediation. That's the way I look at it. Then judges became mediators in the US. They brought that part of it. So all that is how mediation went around. But we have to change that. That's not the way it has to happen at all. So that part. But I think you missed out on the part when I was talking about the World Mediation Circles. You missed out on that discussion.
for today's session.
Yeah.
For today's session.
In today.
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
I was there. I even heard Leila and Lily singing Happy Birthday song for you. So I was there.
Okay, so that part of it, any comments on that? On the World Mediation Circle?
No, I look forward to be part of it. I look forward to be part of it.
Vikram, can you, sorry,
Yeah,
I had
Hi,
joined,
Okay,
hi
I'm
guys.
sorry, I can't see you. And look, thing is, there's a setting in Zoom which says don't show these non-video participants. So I didn't even know you were there.
Oh, he's there.
His
Okay.
file is there. Imagine if we are talking and I said only Jhanda, you were there. You didn't even say anything.
I thought as much
No,
that some setting bit is there, so I just intervened.
Okay, I'll
I'll
show the non-video. I'll show the non-video, because what
No,
happens is
I'm showing. I'm
yeah.
switched on my video. So Vikram, I joined through the YouTube link, and then somehow my connection was bad, so I couldn't hear the thing about the mediation circle. So I wanted to hear that. I heard about the mediation fee bit and the gift and all that, and the Japanese person, was not very clear. I think I had network issues here. So if you could talk about the circle, the mediation circle, once more, if Jarna is okay with it. Jarna, by the way, I requested her for the Zoom link and she sent it to me. So that's how I did it.
Thing. Why did you not have it? Why are you not? Is it going to spam my email?
I think because I am very regular with my mails, and last time I had received your Zoom link. So this time I think it's gone into the spam. Let me check that, because it's not there in my inbox.
I will just tell you one thing. I mean, this is my this is my personal observation, okay? Your mails are too lengthy. So somewhere, if you have put in the Zoom link, must have missed out. Is what I realized.
I know, I totally understand that, and there's a purpose for that. I want only those people who are willing to read my emails to be part of what I do. It doesn't have to be come, Zoom link, connect, go. No, you people have to be involved. You have so much to do. So if you are not willing to, why do I, even the gift thing, why do I even talk about appreciating me? If you don't appreciate the work I do, then you're not going to appreciate the World Mediation Circle, because this is going to be, look, everything is around me. Because like I said, it's not going to be an organization. Everyone is going to be working on their own, and we'll all be connected. And that's the way it can become a movement, by making it a situation where everyone, there's a, like I said, my democratic process is different. Please give me all the suggestions, but I decide what to do. Because otherwise, if I can do a conference with 93 sessions or a symposium with 97 speakers, is because I'm connected to everyone on an individual basis. All the LinkedIn and WhatsApp and other social media messages, I reply to that, because there is no other way. because this is an one-to-one relationship, and we have to take that forward. So that is why the emails are a little lengthy. But they're not so bad. Yeah, come on, they're not so bad. Let me, maybe I can put up one.
I never complained that they're bad. I just said that it's a little lengthy, so maybe somewhere it gets lost. That's what
So
I'm saying.
Vikram, I'll take a little bit of a credit over here. So I read your mails, even though they are lengthy, and I take your Zoom link from them. But this time I haven't received your mail, so probably it's gone to
10:46 p.m. Yeah,
spam. It's gone to my spam folder then, because it's not there in my inbox for sure.
No, what Jhanna is also spoke about this in that session of the conference on social media. She did talk about this, that I should have some kind of, they have these MailChimp and all these things. So you kind of a newsletter concept where people confirm their email address. So once the email address has been confirmed, then it will go into their inbox. I'll put that together. It's just that, because look, for me individually, only I am the one, I can't put any costs to myself. Even Jhanna, I was saying, look, I was asking, okay, what do you charge to do something? But I can't put anything, because the moment I put one charge, I have to pay out for this, except my time, I will want to recover it. And the moment I go into that path, then there's so many people who do those kinds of things. I don't want to go that path. I just want to still do it where we are working on appreciating each other on the level where we can send each other gifts, and there's no commitment. So I can't create commitments further.
That's a beautiful, wonderful way of looking at it, because appreciation does matter a lot. And the fact, I'll also put it that way, the fact that we are attending your conferences, that also shows that there is something, this is your USP, I guess. The fact that you're not getting into the monetary part. But at the same time, it's like, it's like a dilemma. Somewhere you have to start charging also. This is a movement that you're doing that's entirely different. I'm talking from the mediation perspective.
When we are not the only ones saying this. Glad there is somebody else.
Well, Jhanna was also speaking about this to be. But I'll tell you what I said. I'll tell you about the World Mediation Circle, and there I looked at it a little differently. But I still said gift. I mean, I'm talking about it, but I said starting point will be send me a gift. It could be a rupee, but send me a gift so that at least I know you appreciate me, because I'm telling you, World Mediation Circle, like all my events, is going to be around me. So if you don't even appreciate me, then where are you going to appreciate the work I'm doing? So that is where the starting point was that. But the point was, as we start off, and okay, the concept of World Mediation Circle being, this is the larger global one world mediation circle, which everyone's part of. But each school, one mediation circle will be created. Every community, which means business community, residential community, interest-based community, whatever be the community, they create a mediation circle. But how do they create it? In the community, you ask the question, who is that person or people who help people resolve their disputes? So I'm saying it could be a family, it could be a community, wherever, just identify those people, because let's not take this movement forward if we don't have the right people. And the right people are those who are already giving people the best user experience. I was telling someone about this, that even I was talking to Ivana in the session in the conference. She's the executive director of the IMI. And she was telling us about the whole concept of finally the user experience aspect, that after all this training and everything they do, there is a whole kind of a log book or something that they create. There's a concept of evaluating user experience. I am saying that is my starting point. I've already cleared the user experience. Now skill development, if it has to happen, we'll create a full structured program. It'll be available for them to access. That I might not put on the YouTube, because like I said, I want this to be something that people appreciate. Everything that comes for free, like mediation, they don't appreciate. So I'll create that. I'm not saying, I'll tell you why the gift thing came in, because the people connected from all over the world. Everyone has a different paying capacity. And I don't want to lose out on anyone. I want everyone to be part of it, but at the same time appreciate also. So that's a balance I had to create. Was at one point I thought, okay, if we have to charge, then I'll have to link it to the GDP of the country and then look at charges. So all that would have become very complicated. As I said, right now, it's 2022. Let's just go through it. We have 6 months. Let's see how it works out. We can always in 2023 see, okay, it's not working out this way, because I tell you why I also need the funds to come in, is because this World Mediation Circle, to create that circle, to find those peacemakers, identify them, finally we'll have to use Facebook ads or Instagram ads or wherever. We have to reach out in bulk. Again, we spoke about this. I think Sadhana, we had some kind of discussion on this. We have to reach out on scale. It's not a small thing. I mean, like if I say every school has to have a mediation circle, the peacemakers in every school have to be identified. So you have to reach out and scale. That's one way we'll reach out, through these Facebook ads and other ways. The other is that you people are also going to talk to the children around you. So I had one, and I'll be doing these meetings where I'm talking about World Mediation Circle. So there's Lolia, she's based in Nigeria. So I was talking to her daughter came in. So I started the conversation with her daughter, same question. She immediately came out with a name of this Moreri, or whatever his name was, that he does this in our school. So immediately we identified someone. Now we know if we have to create any skill development program or anything for children, we know that we have one person whom we have to take it to. So similarly, I told her daughter that you start talking to all the children that you know in your school, in the place, your community, in your family, and she's going to prepare a whole list. So we'll get them into a Zoom meeting. We'll talk to them. They know everything. I'm telling you, when you ask them what, first the user knows what they do. When you ask them, they'll tell you everything about the process. What you might learn in whatever classes or whatever you do, they know everything. They'll tell you that. From the person who's doing it has all the skills. They know how to do it, except that they have to have that confidence within themselves that this is an activity. First, they're special, and they're providing a value to people. There's a service that you're providing. So they have to start in the school. We're not asking them to pay them in cash, maybe, but again, the gift thing will happen in the school also, that this person in your school has to be valued. Give the person a gift. You can give them a toy, you can give them whatever you want. So this entire chain will be on gifting. So the mediator in the community, send them a gift. Even like I was saying, that even if the person is not resolving your dispute, the person is important for the community to keep peace in the community. If they can resolve someone else's dispute, the environment in the community becomes better. So again, I mean, of course, because I'm repeating, because Payal has asked me, I will repeat, Jhanna, so you will have to listen to it again. The point finally is that communities themselves are breaking up. So this way, these people are going to be instrumental in bringing communities together also. Next stage, there is again a session in the conference. Please have a look at it. Mediators as leaders and leaders as mediators. These are the people who are going to, community should take them as your leaders. Okay, you have politicians, you have activist groups, you have advocacy groups. That's a whole different kind of activity. These are people who create that whole collaborative environment. They're resolving disputes in an amicable manner. People are actually being involved because they actually feel that, like, this whole thing of a participant in the circle. They are the mediators, the peacemakers, and the participants. The participant means right now you've understood that a collaborative way is good. So you're coming into a circle in the community. Then there will be community issues. There will be social issues in the community. So it's not an individual to individual thing. It is the larger problems that communities are faced with. Then when you have this group of people who've understood the collaborative way, they will then be able to have dialogue, be it the government, be it private, could be organization. There could be a private organization which is creating an issue in some place. There could be communities affected by, like, you have these mining projects where Luis Ore has spoken a lot on my sessions on that. So these communities will understand this approach, because once you've tasted mediation, you actually understand that yes, this concept works, and you learn a lot from that, even being a participant in a mediation. So you take that into your community, so that creates that environment. And then when these people become leaders, because communities appreciate and value them, then community, state, national, global, then we'll have these people who are going to be available to the world, and the people who already have that experience will be available to that individual in that community. Because be it through these sessions that I do in the conferences, could be skill development programs, whatever. So those people, their expertise will be available to one person sitting in one, could be a small village in some part in the world. So that expertise is available there. These people start working together and they do things at the global level. That's the vision. I mean, that's the vision. It'll all happen in a slow step-by-step process. So that's the idea. Now, Payal, you have to give your thoughts on it.
So let me first understand correctly. You are talking of first creating those communities, right?
Yeah.
Creating, whether it in a school, whether in a building society, or whether it's a community, say at the very ground level in a village, correct?
Yeah, and community means in this case, even business communities.
Correct.
It can be organizations. Organizations are a community, and basically people who are maybe working together on some social issue. Like I said, on a global level, you can have a climate change mediation circle, which goes down to the local level, because climate change is going to be affecting everyone. So you'll have lots of circles at different levels. So anything, I mean, you can take up any kind of an issue-based, well, interest-based, place-based, any kind of community. All of them create this.
Correct. So my question to you is, how are you going to form or find these communities?
Yeah.
At, by holding these conferences and all that we are holding? You started a movement. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
But the next step is actually forming these groups.
Yeah. So I think all these events, conferences is a different activity, which will continue. That's a different activity.
Correct.
Like the symposium is coming up on indigenous peoples and mediation. That's a separate activity for, in a way, this is a free resource being created for people all over the world to watch whatever on various topics. That continues. On the mediation circle part of it, I am putting out the message and I'm saying, all you people who are involved, you are going to further start talking to the people around you, because the first step is to identify those with a mediator mindset. Without the right people, let's not go out and push mediation, because it won't work out. So first step is we are identifying those with the mediator mindset. We are bringing them together. One, like I said, free resource available to them for skill development and understanding the larger picture. That's already available on YouTube. Separately, I create a skill development program on structured one. So every topic covered, but not put out as a free resource. Available to those who are part of the World Mediation Circle, because free resources are not appreciated. The kind of content which is available and all these wonderful people around the world who have helped me create it, people might not be able to appreciate it because it's available as a free resource. Same
Correct.
people like Ken Cloak. If you go to the people, you can't even imagine how much people charge for attending Ken Cloak session. You have a look at it, one of those. He's given us time. He's not charging anything, and it's available as a free resource on YouTube. But because it's free, I'm telling you, people will not watch it enough. It's actually appreciating based on finally paying for something. That's why I'm saying I'm giving both the options. Have the free resource available for people who actually might either not be looking at it, okay, they just want to understand a little bit and not get involved, but people who are serious about it come on this side. So I'm starting the whole thing gift, be it to me, be it to the people with the mediator mindset. The others are the peacemakers, the peacemaker mindset, which I'm going to talk about. I don't know whether you read that. So we have two categories, which I'm trying to differentiate, because for me that differentiation is important. Because peacemaker is the one who brings people together. So I've tested it out in schools also. So they know those people, the people who bring people together. So in the one session of the conference, there was Tabitha, her son came in. So I asked him the question. So he gave an example of one boy who brings people together. So he was a peacemaker, but not sitting down and helping them resolve the dispute. So there are two categories of people, and we have to differentiate it, because mediators are not appreciated or valued because this differentiation is not created. And this differentiation is not created because today out there in schools and everywhere, this whole concept of making money out of training is happening. And that training only helps you if you give it on a generic level. Conflict coaching training. Okay, non-violent communication training. Okay, that's very nice. We will do that. We will have those things available. But what about that skill of this person to actually help you resolve a dispute? That's the mediator. So I understand that's a different skill and value that skill. So that's why I've created those two parts. So the peacemakers are very important. That is an art, just getting people to sit together. And I'm not saying they should go for mediation. The peacemaker brings them together. They negotiate within themselves. They work it out within themselves. I'm happy. They don't need a mediator. Why should you push them for mediation? Same thing when we say, why should you be able to go for litigation when you can use mediation? Same way, why should you go for mediation when you can negotiate and do it yourself? So let's put it out. I'm not saying everyone should go for mediation. No, you sit together and resolve it. So these peacemakers can do that part. But where it seems that these people can't resolve it themselves, then you move to mediation. So people with the mediator mindset would be identified. Those people who are the peacemakers in the community, they'll be identified by the community also. So we'll get those names. We'll bring them together. And because of conversations, these are available to connect from all over the world. They'll all connect. They'll have discussions within themselves. They'll be able to appreciate what someone else is doing somewhere else. Because like I was saying, that disputes remain the same. It's just maybe the language changes. Maybe there might be some little differences in because of the place, because of regions or whatever. Could be some,
because of cultural differences or whatever, a
some
little.
of it. But because being those cultural differences will also mean that one cultural difference in between two communities, but there's another similarity with some other community. So people will be able to understand and learn from each other if they have to, because like I did that little session on Mediator Reflects with Michael Lang. He does that. He does reflective practice. So mediators get together, they talk about their experiences, and which a lot of people have said they don't have that opportunity, because being an activity you do on your own, people feel lonely on their path on mediation. They don't have anyone to talk to. They don't have their experiences whom they share with. Now they'll have one community where they will share those experiences. So that's why this whole environment is being created in this manner, where everyone on a World Mediation Circle. So that's why I'm saying those are two different activities. This one will continue the way it's continuing. No change. This one is people who are serious enough to appreciate it, serious enough to they go out and say, okay, let me sell Vikram a gift. Let me, because in your community, Payal is doing it. Let the community send something to Payal. So Payal has get something coming out to her to do that activity. Plus, how does Payal benefit? Payal is actually now recognized in the community as someone who's a mediator, and also creating a nice atmosphere in the community. One, you can go out and do a sales pitch. Okay, use mediation and all that. But when you're actually creating an environment there, you're bringing out those people with the mediator mindset. So we don't want insecure people who says, oh, I don't want to bring out other people out there. We don't want those people. We want people who can understand the larger picture, that how by actually creating and bringing out those people with the mediator mindset in the community, you are actually going to help develop mediation. There will be more than enough work for you, because people will recognize you as that experienced mediator who has come to the community to help set up a whole, I'm calling it a circle, a whole mediation circle. So you will have various communities you'll be working with, and who are in residential communities. You have people who are into businesses, people who are working in organizations. Everyone is part of a residential community. Once they experience mediation in a small level, maybe at a community dispute, they will say, Payal, please set this up in my organization. Please set this up in our business community. So there will be work coming to you. So you're benefiting from that. I am saying you don't have to, if you don't, you say, no, I don't want the gifting option. You come, you ask me what my fees is, and I will tell you what fees you have to pay. I'm not getting into that. That's your connection with each other. I'm saying if you have to be part of the World Mediation Circle, please come part of it. But if at an individual level, this is my suggestion, let's just ask people to send you a gift or pay what they, let's not call it a gift for someone who's doing the mediation. Let's just say, pay as you want, pay what you want. Let's say that. I'm saying what, 6 months, let's try it in 2022. We'll review it in December. 2023 we might create a different kind of a business model on this. But finally, I'm saying everyone will benefit. So now
what you were speaking of, I'm talking of something else now that you mentioned about this is a very lonely path. And I so agree with you on this, that because I experienced it recently, where very briefly, I'll tell you that I issued notices and counter replies, and things were getting a little out of hand. My ultimate aim was to have the matter settled. And I just told the client, why don't you approach them directly? I don't want to be involved in the meetings now. It was a very tough call, Vikram, extremely tough call, because you have your own mindset. Everything crosses your mind. What about my fees? Blah, blah, blah. When I'm doing behind the scenes, because I told the client I will not be talking to the other side. It was a very, a car dealership, a huge car dealership corporate on the other side. And behind the scenes, I got the entire matter settled. Okay. And the client is extremely happy. But what I'm telling you is what you're talking of, the reflective circle bit, because we as human beings go through a lot of emotions. And as a mediator, you have to be open and willing for that also. So the reflective practice that you spoke of is very, very, very nice, because this is not an easy path to tread on as mediators, especially we people coming from the lawyer's mindset. And in today's world, money plays a very important, it's a kind of energy which plays a very, very important role. So having said that, yes, the gift thing would definitely, because yes, the client's personal note to me, thank you so much for everything, with a huge smile, of course made up. But as you mentioned, that it is a lonely path. And coming back to this forming these circles, it's just that logistically how it will work out, I just want to understand that say, for example, I start that in my building.
Yeah.
Okay. That if there are any disputes, come over to me. Correct? I have taken training.
That's the difference I'm saying. This difference here is you are going out into your residential community, and you are saying, let's identify those with the mediator mindset that we have in our community. Let's put it out to the people that, look, it is very nice to resolve your disputes in an amicable, collaborative manner. If for that there is some, you want to create a little, maybe a session, you have a session, and you want to tell them about this whole process, have that session. So at least they know Payal is a mediator in the community. But like I said, you're out there to create an environment. This is the difference I'm saying. You're not going out to say, I am a mediator, come to me. We don't want to do that, because there will be enough work that will come to you from the community once you are identified. But here you want to set up and ask people about these people with the mediator mindset. They could be, I'm saying, you can ask the families who are living there. Just ask them that in your family, if there's someone in the community, have you identified anyone? They will give you the names. So one session you will have with these people. You can tell them, look, I mean, one, of course, the resources that I have on YouTube, but all you can tell them about other resources available. They can watch that. You can suggest books. They can, because they haven't looked at it from that theoretical perspective. I don't want, it doesn't not really required, but if they want to further develop their skills, you can give them direction. So that was one path you're doing. The other one, you're telling the community about mediation, telling them, look, these are people available to the community. You should, because finally, look, what do we keep saying? It is party self-determination. Of course, now we're saying participant. We're not using the word party, because party comes from the court system. But this is their self-determination. So they have a pool available to them. You are also part of that pool. So if because you're having conversations with them, you're telling them about it, you will talk about your experiences. They want to use you, let them use you. They don't want to use you, we have no problem. There's so much work available that doesn't matter. So this is a little bit of what I keep saying, that if there is someone has an insecurity that I don't want to develop anyone else because I won't get work, the whole thing will not work. So I would tell those people, look, no use being part of it, because this is a totally different activity. You want to advertise yourself, you have those options. Why do you need to be part of this circle? You want to go out, put out ads and say, come, I will do mediation. So that's a totally different aspect. I don't want to, where am I a part of it? You want to give an ad, you want to mediate, you keep doing it. And Jhanna is there. Go to Jhanna, she will help you create a social media presence. Do that. This is a totally different activity. So you will see the difference yourself when you are the one going out and helping in identifying these people, putting them together, creating that atmosphere, having meetings around it. Then you will identify those with the peacemaker mindset. They will start talking in the community that, okay, do you have a dispute? Why don't you look at resolving it through me? First of all, in an amicable manner. The other is, okay, again, on a collaborative manner. If you can't do it, we have these people with the mediator mindset. Why don't you get them? So they will coordinate the process for you. I'm saying a mediator can also be a peacemaker, but every peacemaker can't be a mediator. So mediation is a different skill. So I have no problem that the mediator is also a peacemaker wanting to bring people together, will coordinate the process themselves. But I'm saying that the skill of a mediator should be used for mediation, and a peacemaker's skill should be used by them to bring people together and coordinate with the mediator. So it's like a platform. You have these online platforms which have mediators in it. This is your platform. So that peacemaker is feeding you work. And again, you gift them peacemaker, or you can have an arrangement with them on a fee basis. I mean, I have no problem. That's your individual arrangement. So peacemaker says, okay, I have these disputants or these people who have a dispute. I want you to be the mediator in that. Okay, you can pay me this much. You can, these people will pay you that much. Whatever that arrangement is, a commercial arrangement if you want to do it. So I'm not part of that. I'm just saying, for me, if you want to be part of the World Mediation Circles, and then you are creating a mediator Vikram circle there, but you don't have to. You can create a pile circle there. I mean, that's your circle. But why I want people to create mediator Vikram circle is because then they will be part of the global pool. They will interact on a global level. Those people whom you identify, they will become part of that whole pool of people with the mediator mindset, peacemaker mindset. They'll be part of conferences that I organize. So that's how they will benefit from the larger pool. But I have no problem. I mean, why would I have a problem? Anyone can create circles on their own. I mean, where do I don't have to fit in everywhere. So that's the picture. You have to keep telling me, Payal, you have to give your thoughts, because this is a work in progress. I have given you my thoughts based on my experience of talking to people, because look, I keep saying that I'm a practical person. I'm not a theoretical person. I don't read books, so I don't need to know those theories of creating systems and all that. For me, it's conversations with people, understanding what the problem is. I have a solution which I have put across. We will keep refining the whole thing, how it has to work.
You're making it a very, very inclusive process, which I really appreciate, and which even the people with the mediation mindset in your residential society or community will always appreciate, because you're making it inclusive. So that's the first step, which is, I think, going to work. That should work. Of course, the work has to begin at our ends now. That since we are a part of this community, that you have started this beautiful movement. So yeah, sounds good.
But stage two, stage two is, now you have identified people with the mediator mindset. You've created a mediation mindset in the community. You've got the peacemaker mindset. Now this circle is now going to be a circle which will look at the larger problems of the community. One is resolving your disputes. One is resolving the community's disputes. And I'm saying community disputes of various kinds. There are issues which are maybe, let's look at basic. There's an infrastructure issue. There's a road in your community which is not being made. Because you are reasonable people, the dialogue that you will have with your municipal corporation will be at a different level. You will then be able to, so even those people will appreciate the way you will put it across. I keep saying, there's a politician, there's an activist, there's an advocacy group. That's a totally different way of approaching things. And there is a collaborative way of doing it. finding solutions which is workable for everyone. There is no use going out and fighting on a system where system also has its own issues. We have to understand that also. So you will start bringing in change of a different level in various social problems in various kinds. I mean, I just give you one infrastructure related, could be like I said, road. There will be other issues which will come up. We don't know what those issues. I'm not wanting to limit it. I'm saying anything will come up where a community can work together. And then because that circle keeps expanding, that mediation mindset keeps, that people start evolving on that. It's all an evolution. They keep evolving on that. So slowly, the circle increases. And finally, what do we want? Finally, all those people, these people, mediators as leaders, which I keep saying. So these people become the leaders in communities. So you change the whole way even politics is conducted. The leaders that you will bring out are people with that reasonable collaborative mindset. So imagine the changes that you can bring on your small, they say, or whatever, your municipal level, then the state level, then the national level, and finally the global level. And again, I want to go back to that. The global level will help the local level, because suddenly now, because of the commonalities and the experience, you're bringing all that together. So these people are available as support base. Then another stage which will happen, because one is the free resource that is being created by these people. So obviously they're available, they're identified in conferences and symposium. They will have their little programs happening, skill development programs, which people who are part of the circle can again attend. And again, it'll be a gifting thing. They can gift that person, or can they give the person whatever how they appreciate that person. So suddenly you're attending there'll be various skill development programs happening in all parts of the world. You attend them, of course, gift. Do not go. It's not, now this is not a free activity. They have given their time for free in the conferences and then symposium and the discussion, which is available as a free resource. You don't want to give them, go there. But if you now want to be part of the smaller Zoom session that they organize, then it'll be available to you as part of the World Mediation Circle, available to you to attend, but please gift that person. So the person who has that mediator mindset and is conducting these programs will benefit from that also, because these people will give you a gift. And I'm saying we'll review it. If it turns out that people are not willing to do it, then it all can be, to put a value, put an amount to it is the easiest thing to do. Pay this to get this, pay this to get this. That's the easiest thing to do. But I wanted it to be a totally different way of going about it, because I'm saying there are all kinds of people who have different paying capacities. But why should they get lost out only because of money? I don't want that to happen. But if you can afford it, why not pay more? In a way, you're compensating for that person. So that's the collaborative way that you're all part of it together. The larger thought, I mean, I don't know.
So my question is, when at the very first level, at your whatever you said, infrastructural issue bit, now when you try to get people with the mediator mindset, that who is there, say in your community, how do you give them, that mindset that they need some training, right? What training do they first?
I'll have to change your terminology. In my events or shows, anyone never use the word training for people with the mediator mindset, because I keep saying training means that you are putting a skill in them, and I'm saying they have the skill. So that's why skill development. So for people with the mediator mindset, there will be skill development programs that I'm saying they don't need it. It is just an additional thing we're adding to them. That is something they are already, if they're already giving people a good user experience, then how do we say that we can give them something better? Finally, the user experience is what they want to give. There is nothing else that a mediator is doing. It is giving people that user experience. So if the person already is giving that, we don't have to even give that person, I mean, spoil the person's confidence, because today the person has that confidence that yes, someone comes to me, I can help them. But tomorrow we say, no, you can't do it because you need this training. You've already changed the whole concept, which is what's happening in the world. People who are going, they're saying, oh, we'll make you a mediator. And this is where the issue that I have. You don't make mediators. It's not a factory. There's so much that goes into that individual, that Buddha behind you, the what you have picked up from the Buddha behind you. Is it something that you can pick up, go 40-hour training? We will give you, we will put Buddha in you. We will give you enlightenment. We'll come under the banyan tree and suddenly you will become, it doesn't happen there.
But Vikram, the skill development would always help. Okay.
That's
It
what
is
I'm saying.
basically tapping into our own potential.
That's what I'm saying, that the
We
skill
have it in
development,
us.
skill development
Yes.
programs will be two kinds. One is there is enough content available on my YouTube channel itself. People
Okay.
can go there and watch them. The best in the world are talking about it. That's available.
Hmm.
Skill development program will be created on a structured level with topics that we should be covered from the basic to the advanced, will be available to access by these
Okay.
people. But
Okay.
like all difference that I'm saying is that instead of me saying that you have to pay this to access it, I am saying the people who are actually doing that program, who've given that time to create that program, please send them a gift, so that at least they are compensated for their whatever, that's their experience and skill and everything they're giving to you in that much time. So appreciate that. So people who can appreciate other people, let's put them together. People who want free resources, enough created. I'm saying if I say 373 videos on my YouTube channel, and each of them minimum 1 hour, but they're 2 hours and 3 hours also. So if you have about 500 hours of content available, there is enough for people. If they start today and watch even 2 hours every day, they have almost 2 years of work available to them. So there's enough content there, and more is being created. This symposium is coming up, Indigenous Peoples and Mediation. Let's see how many sessions we have in that. So that will, the churning out will happen, keep happening. So there'll be enough content for the people who want it for free, but let's get people together. So for me, starting point of the mediation circle is first appreciate the work that I am doing. Send me a gift. So I know that, because I'm telling you, you won't appreciate the World Mediation Circle because this is a activity based. This is actually working on the ground. This is not coming and attending a session. It's actually doing work, and it is going to be around me. Because the one that around what Payal is doing at the community is finally part of the global level. We want to do it at the global level. So I am going to be involved in that. But what you're doing at the community is around you. So each one is doing something around themselves. So that's how the circle will expand. That's why the individual is important. It's all an individual based thing. And so that's, I mean, look, work in progress. Work in progress.
Always.
And it started off like, say, one meeting, one person understood. She's going out and talking to people. She's creating those people with the mediator mindset, creating that list. So that's one person will bring out some people. I'll have a session with those people, then bring people together from other parts. That's how the thing will expand. And of course, look, everything goes out on YouTube, goes out. So even if people can't attend the session, it'll be available to them. It could be, I will, of course, certain sessions, look, or certain things might not be things that you need to put out on the YouTube channel. That'll be available. That recording will be accessible maybe on the cloud. I'll put it on the cloud. So people who are part of the World Mediation Circle can access it. So there'll be enough that you will get, even if you're not part of every meeting or everything. So you will still feel a part of it. And then you will interact with these people, connect with these people. There'll be referrals, collaboration, networking, all that will happen. Step by step, Payal, baby steps, baby steps. So now Jhanna has some comments to make. She will have some questions. Jhanna, please.
I don't have questions. I have my points on which I would love to work. So I'm happy.
Okay.
No complaints.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, which I've done now, is that every day, weekdays, in the evening, and on Wednesdays and Saturdays in the morning, it'll be open. I'll give you the link. It'll be an open thing. Please drop in. We'll have a discussion. You can drop in for 10 minutes. You can drop in for 2 hours. I want to keep it for 1.5 hours. 2 hours maybe, because look, the advantage I get is that I keep working at the same time. If no one comes also, I still spend that much time on posts and other things. So that will keep continuing. I'm sitting there. Only thing is my ears might get a little tired with wearing the headphones, but I'll sit here and I'm available. Come in, whoever comes in, we can, whatever your experience has been, you've done something, someone else will come in from some other part of the world. They'll bring in what experience they had in terms of identifying those people with the mediator mindset. They'll bring in those people into the meeting. So we'll talk to those people. We'll also understand, yes, these people exist. Other people will meet each other and it'll all grow. So weekdays, you'll have, right now it'll be this Zoom link. So basically, I am putting it out from 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the evening, of course, India time. And then on Wednesdays and Saturdays, it'll be, I'm thinking of starting at about 10, I think 10 o'clock India time, maybe 10 to 11:30, or maybe, I don't know. I can't decide whether it should be 11 to 12:30 or 10 to 11:30. That part of it,
11 to 12:30 sounds better.
Perfect. So 11 to 12:30. So
yeah,
perfect.
that sounds better.
Yeah. So 11 to 12:30 on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and 6:30 to 8 on every day, but Monday to Friday. Or for Saturday evening, I want to keep free. Maybe or should we just quit the Saturday morning? Let's keep it only Monday to Friday.
I think that makes sense. Cut out the weekend.
Yeah,
cut out the weekend.
Yeah, I think. And on weekends, the thing is, I have these other shows that I do. So maybe because I used to do the evolution of a mediator only on Saturdays, but because of the conference, I right now I stopped that show. Other shows I stopped for the moment, but those will also have to start. So that'll happen. That can happen on the weekends. Perfect.
Sounds
so that's
good.
perfect. So 11 to 12:30 on weekdays. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, and
yeah.
6:30 to 8 on all days of the week, Monday to Friday. Yeah,
sounds good. You're going to continue with Saturdays. You said weekends you will not do it.
Yeah, let's right now not keep it on the weekend. Let's not keep it. And later, if we think that some people think that Saturdays is something that they can give time and they can't give time on the weekend, let's see. Then we can add that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you have the Zoom link. You have the Zoom link. Just drop in whenever, and we'll continue the discussion. But for that, Payal, you'll have to, at least in your community, which various communities that you're part of, WhatsApp groups that you're part of, family, just send out a message. Who are those people who help people resolve disputes or helped you resolve your disputes, or who you would go to help resolve your dispute? Just put that message out. That when you have a conversation with those people, you will be able to, and the people who have used them. So the user experience is available to you, the person is available to you, and also you can ask for people who bring people together, but might not sit together to actually resolve the dispute. So there are all those people available. So just put that list together. So next time we meet, let's talk about your experience of talking to these people, what they said, how that experience helped them, how did they do the process. They'll tell you. So do all that and just bring that with you. And maybe also if you could send me a note on what we discussed, because how you have perceived what I'm saying. Let's pick that up. Let's put that note together, and then we'll have various people putting notes together. Then we have to create a very simple communication to go out to communities, because we can't throw out complicated thing, whatever. Very simple of what you are doing. So that question to ask to be framed in a very simple manner. So based on your experience of talking to people, you'll frame a nice simple question for people. We can also create a form. We can send out forms to people to fill in also. We can do that. So Janna's there. Janna will create he will help us also create things. I'll create things. We'll put them out. So we'll first communication. Let's get that experience from talking to people. Well, I have spoken to people, so I know. But I'm saying that let's not me sit there and say I know everything kind of thing. Let's bring in your experience, and we'll create the communication, because the communication to the children will be different. Communication to the community will be different. Maybe a business community will have a different communication. A residential community will have a different communication. So let's create all that together, and then let's send it out, because we have enough available to us. We have social media, we have WhatsApp, all that available to us. Then we'll send it out. At any point of time.
Two things. So two things. One is I'll send you a note on today's whatever discussion that we've had. what is my perception, what is my understanding of it. And second is try and work out on the communities. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Have a dialogue with the people whom I identify as people with good mediator mindsets, or or peacemakers, or whatever.
And the advantage is that at least you have started having a conversation around mediation. So they will have an interest on the work that you do. They'll start having conversations with you. Therefore, their work might come to you from that itself when you talk about
And you
it.
never know. You never know. You never
Exactly.
know.
But I'm just
Yes.
saying this is a nicer way to approach communities. I'm telling you
Absolutely.
that because the moment you go out and say, oh, I'm a mediator, come to me. No one does that. No one does
Correct.
that. No, it's not. It's a very personal thing, and which I don't know. You heard, of course, you were not there. Lily was talking about this because I had a discussion with her in one of the meetings that we had, and she understood this. She said, people who are part of families, part of communities, people who are familiar with these people, they will come out and open out with these people. They will. This is a very personal thing that you're talking about. It's a dispute that you have. So much to that trust is the most important part. So that trust will develop rather than this whole, okay, this is a professional we are going to. It's a different environment altogether. So this is why. So a good part is Janna is taking notes, and I'm expecting a nice note from her. Imagine she's going to put down a whole thing. This is what we have to do. This is all what we are going to do. And look, Janna, look at for you. You'll have so many people to help create that for them, that whole presence, social media and other things. So everyone benefits. But to start with, you can send me what you want. How will you be able to do that? That's the only thing. That's one decision Jhanna takes. She has a very commercial mindset. You know that, huh? So she'll.
I think all of us in today's day and age, we have that money, the energy of money is one of the strongest today, and all of us, I guess, are affected by it, whether you like it.
Please give me that. I have to understand how to do that, because Jhanna does try to explain to me that you must have that mindset. I'm not getting that part of it. I don't know whether you saw on my website. I actually put down this situation that I have faced not today, for the last almost 2 years. I'll show you. This is what I put down there. Have a look at this. Okay, just read this part.
The time I'm spending on the promotional activities is considerable, and there are miles to go before I sleep. The 370 plus videos of my shows and events available on YouTube as a free resource. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified when I upload more videos or go live on channel. If you appreciate the work I'm doing, you can send a gift. It's like taking me out for a meal or just a coffee, or like paying subscription to an organization promoting mediators and mediation. It is not the amount, but the thought that counts. Please let me know the thought behind the support. It feels nice to be appreciated. You can send your gift to PayPal from anywhere in the world. PayPal link is here. In India, you can send your gift through UPI.
I'll read the next part. This is the important part.
Your gift will answer the question that my wife and daughter keep asking me. Why do you spend so much time promoting mediation? Why don't you do your work instead? We have to live with the new normal, but the always normal is that doing work is gauged by money in the bank, and they are not wrong, as we have to eat, play golf, some lucky ones, travel and spend time with family, and the world is one family. That's the translation of Sanskrit phrase Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Yes.
This is the issue that I faced with the wife and daughter. This is something which has been the biggest thing, because I'm telling you, that's the way the world gauges it. There's no other gauge that they have, and which is, like I said, they're not wrong. Why should we say they're wrong? Because obviously we have to do all those things, and I can't live without playing my golf. So
Agreed.
So I put it down there. I said, look, this is the fact. I mean, this is my life. I can't do anything about it, but I have to do the work I do, because you can't imagine that when I get these messages from around the world, when someone has watched the things, and I'm surprised. I don't even know. Look, how do I know who's watching? And when they send those nice messages and what I'm doing and how it's helped them and all that, okay, how do you put a value to that kind of thing? I mean, okay, it's someone touching someone's life. What is the value to that? I mean, you can put a value. It's invaluable. So that's why I can't change that. I don't want to change it, because they've come from all backgrounds. everyone, how do I tell them, no, you pay this, otherwise you can't access this? I'm like, can I do that? I can't do that. I mean,
But this is a beautiful way of doing it, Vikram. I really appreciate that you're being very, very honest, forthright about it. At the same time, you're doing what you want to do also.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Exactly. So you understood the thought, which was a good opportunity. I said, let's talk about this because I think, because look, finally the circle has to grow and the circle has to keep growing and the people have to get involved. So let's put it out. We've discussed it. This will be available. We'll circulate it. Let people understand, because how many people can I actually sit down and talk about it? So at least we have this available. Let's circulate it and let's bring people in. That's the whole idea.
Let me just add one thing. What you're doing requires a lot of guts and fantastic. Kudos.
Thank you very much. Look, imagine you're saying this. What is for me, that's like the biggest thing. For someone to be able to say that much means there's something good happening somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No two ways about it.
Yeah. Perfect. So thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you. No, on the contrary, thank you. I could attend today at peace. So see you.
Yeah.
See you.
So we have this happening in the evening also. So please drop in if you want to.
Today evening, I may not be able to join in because I have a prior commitment. I'll talk to you about that in detail, which is also a kind of mediating thing only. We're mediating with ourselves. And we'll talk about it some other time.
Of course, another thing how you benefit is because I look at co-mediation happening. You are creating these people with the mediator mindset out there as a community. Now they have something which might be a little more complex. They will come to you that they let them co-mediate with you. Like I had a high value commercial matter. I went to Mr. Panchu. I said, please, let's do it together. I kept saying we are doing it together. That's the thing. It has to be one-on-one, because look, everyone brings in a value. So you say that no, this person is in the community and this person is not. I mean, I know everything. No, everyone brings in something. So that is what I keep telling Mr. Panchu. Look, Mr. Panchu, both of us make a dream team. Because what he brings, I don't. What he brings, that whole serious gravitas kind of thing, I don't bring that. I bring connections with people. So that's what people, I mean, the people who work with me in terms of participants also appreciate that human touch, bringing the human touch, which I think I mean, it might be in some parts of the world getting lost. We should not go that direction. We have to be able to create that environment around that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So thank you very much, Vikram. Thank you, Jharna.
Thank you, Jharna.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
And no, if Jhanna's continue, I'm here. So thank you.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Although Jhanna is looking at you, I'm looking at her as creating the nice note and a whole process and
I look forward to it too.
And a business plan. Business plan. You're the business plan person. So I'm expecting a nice proper proposal. Let's call it a proposal. I don't know whether it's a proposal or not, but let's call it a nice structured approach.
With a note.
Yeah, let's look at it as a structured approach and let's grow it. Right? Everyone benefits. I'm telling you, Jhanna, you also benefit. Everyone benefits.
That's the key. For me, yes, most of the things are commercial to me. I don't dispute over it. But yeah, when you say that if it's a community effort and it has to be put down, beyond commercial, so I understand that.
No, I'm saying that, look, the commercial will come from it. Only thing is how we are communicating it today. I'm saying that, okay, you appreciate the work Jhanna is doing for you. Look, you have all these people. Now, Payal wants to do something in a community. She doesn't have so much time. But she tells you, okay, why don't you do this? Why don't you have this communication? Whatever. I mean, because it's not one community. It's a various community. It's not like she talks about only her residential community. Once you create a model in yours, then you will do the others around you. So communication has to go out to them. There's enough, lots of work, Shadana, lots of work.
So of course, me and Payal, we do interact on personal level and we have exchanged opportunities with each other. So yeah, and we've also been part of, I was one of the coaches where she was a participant for training. So yes, we have good, professional colleagues.
Yeah, so now this is another area to collaborate on. creating an awareness and bringing people together, and how their communication goes out in a simple manner but still effective manner. So let's do all that, put it all together. Right,
Let's do
Jhanna?
that. And can you please just repeat the time and the dates that you mentioned for the availability?
For the
I will.
okay, Monday to Friday.
For
Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. India time.
evening, no?
Okay.
Yes.
And on Wednesdays, 11 to 12:30 India time. Although my golf course is closed, and Saturdays I try to take a break. So that's why I was looking at Saturdays, but right now we're cutting out the Saturdays and Sundays. So
good.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you're taking a break. Wednesday would be 11 to 12, right?
11 to 12:30.
Okay, got
Let's
that.
put it off for 1.5 hours. Let's do that.
Okay. So Monday to Friday, except Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Wednesday
6:30
is
to 8.
11
6:30 to 8.
a.m.
6:30 to 8.
6:30
to 8. Yeah.
6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. IST.
Yeah. So the Zoom link is the same, this one.
Yeah.
And later, if it has to change, that of course I'll communicate. But otherwise, this remains the Zoom link.
Got that. Thank you.
Right. So Jhanna, thank you very much, and I'll see you. Evening
And
is
wish
available
you
to you.
happy birthday again. And yes,
you.
I would be joining you.
Perfect. So I'll see you then.
I'll be joining you.
Yeah, with a not so serious loop, with a more relaxed. Take a
Yes, I
nap.
will.
Take a nap, then come back. Okay.
Sure.
All right. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.